Chapter 1055 begins with Momo stating,
"You must not, Yamato."
Yamato replied, "Why not? Why can't I fight him?" Momo insisted.
"You must not! Don't you dare strike him!"
In response, the Admiral violently threw Momo to the ground. Raizo used his technique to unleash a barrage of fireballs towards the Admiral, causing him to rage even more. The Admiral retaliated with his attack called Fire Break Forest, questioning, "Do you think I could hold my position as an Admiral of Navy HQ if I were actually susceptible to such an obvious weakness?" In his fit of rage, the Admiral directly stabbed Raizo, causing him to struggle. Green Bull tightly gripped Raizo, resulting in blood spilling out. The other samurais attempted to attack, but the enraged Admiral effortlessly caught them all, making them helpless. The scene then shifts to Kazuki Sukiyaki's secret chamber underneath the palace. Robin expressed surprise, saying, "I am surprised you found us." Law replied, "You weren't with the others, so obviously I was suspicious." Robin retorted, "Don't act like I'm some kind of hyena." Sukiyaki warned them to watch their step due to the presence of mold. He then continued, revealing that he had never informed Kaido or Orochi about the hidden route. However, since Jack, the lead performer, was a fishman, they quickly discovered the poneglyph. Robin questioned why being a fishman made it easier to spot, to which Sukiyaki responded, "You'll see for yourself soon enough." Interrupting, Law asked, "How long will this take?" Sukiyaki replied, "Oh, let's say several centuries into the past." Robin, confused, suddenly noticed a dim light and asked about its source. Sukiyaki explained that there was a glass block at the end of the tunnel, allowing them to look through it and see that they were on the sea floor. Law and Robin both peered through the glass block and were shocked to see Wano at the bottom of the sea. Sukiyaki clarified that it was Wano from approximately 800 years ago, a different Wano. Law inquired, "But what does that mean?" Sukiyaki responded, "It means just as I said. Whatever happened in the past is unclear to me. The fact that this is not seawater probably explains its good preservation. What it means is that there was once a Wano with an enormous Mount Fuji. At some point, great walls grew around the island, and it filled up with rainwater. The people had to abandon their flooded towns and instead created new land on the side of the mountain for a new country." Robin concluded, "And that's the Wano of today?" Sukiyaki confirmed this and opened a secret door, revealing the road poneglyph. Robin and Law were astonished. As Robin stated, "There it is, the third one. With one more, we'll be able to get to Laugh-Tale." Sukiyaki explained that they were now high up in the caves at the foot of Fuji, where the ancient weapon Pluton was said to rest. However, he admitted to never having seen it himself and being unable to show it to them at the moment. Sukiyaki emphasized that in order to retrieve Pluton, the walls would need to be torn down, which meant opening the borders and destroying the country's natural defense, ultimately unleashing an ancient weapon onto the world. Robin pondered, "Opening the country will release the weapon, but why did Kazuki Oden want to do such a thing?" Sukiyaki replied, "I have told you everything that has been passed down through the shogunate's line. I could not tell you what Oden learned in his travels abroad." The scene then shifted to the flower capital, where Admiral Green Bull raged, stating, "Mere human beings cannot match the might of nature itself. Don't you get it? It was Kaido's presence that kept me from coming here. Sad as it is to admit, Kaido's rule was a deterrent that kept enemies away from this land. Now, bring me Straw Hat Luffy. Once I have taken his head, I'll be on my way." Yamato tells Momo, "We can rely on Luffy and his friends for help. They're better than him." Yamato adds. Momo replies,
"That's not an option, and I won't ask for your help either. Don't bother. You've been trapped on Onigashima for all this time, and this is finally your chance to be free. So I'm giving you a proper send-off. Luffy, Zoro, and the rest have been fighting battles for me all this time. We're the ones who will stay behind in our country. We must be able to drive off any enemy. If we have to ask for help from those who can leave, then we'll never be able to protect Wano."
Yamato is shocked, and Momo continues,
"Be gone, forest monster. Be gone from here."
The Admiral mocks Momo, saying, "Listen to you squalling like a little kid. I didn't know dragons could sound so pathetic." Momo suddenly breathes fire and prepares his fire attack, shocking the Admiral. Momo unleashes a powerful fire blast directly towards the Admiral, causing him pain. The samurais, who were held captive, are released as the Admiral's body burns. The samurais are amazed as Momo throws fire like Kaido. Momo breathes fire again, preparing for another attack. Incredible, has he mastered his dragon body now? But his aim still needs improvement. Momo unleashes another attack, burning the entire gigantic body of the Admiral. The Admiral regenerates and says, Goodness, you are trying to burn down an entire town. The admiral becomes furious and declares, so you mean business? Fine, but you are a pitiful replacement for Kato. I will skewer you from mouth to tail. Suddenly, a tremendous burst of haki emerges from the sea, causing the admiral immense pain. Struggling, the admiral says, Wait, stop. That's Supreme King haki. Who's doing that? The red-haired pirates. Are you nearby? The scene shifts to the sea where Lucky says, Captain, take it easy with the sudden haki blasts. The new guys are getting agitated. Raging Shanks says,
Now, I'm not accusing you of fighting dirty Navy man, but isn't what you're doing a bit excessive when the newcomers who have just changed pirate history are exhausted?
Shanks remembers Momo's and Luffy's past and says angrily,
Are you that afraid of the new era?
The Admiral responds, Look, I'm not picking a fight with you guys. Not yet. Fine, fine. As the Admiral departs, both Momo and Yamato feel relieved. The scene shifts to the flower capital, where everyone is enjoying themselves. Then, the scene moves to the top of a cliff where Luffy and the dangerous trio are present. Luffy smiles and says,
He's gone.
Sanji adds, We don't get to fight. Zoro remarks, Not bad, Momo, not bad. Jinbei adds, That was some monstrous haki being thrown around, though. Luffy asks,
Yeah, what was that?
He smiles and continues,
It made me think of a familiar face.
And the chapter ends. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing because it encourages me to keep making more content for you. I'd also love to hear from you about the kind of topics you'd like to see in future videos, so do comment below. Thank you so much and stay safe.